Recording. And hello, everybody. Welcome back to The True Path Entrepreneur, your guide to living your purpose and growing a business you love with freedom and fun. I'm your host, Beth Weinstein. I'm a transformational business coach helping current and aspiring entrepreneurs align with their true purpose and grow their business so that you can live a life you love, profit with your passion, and have the freedom to work anywhere on the earth on your own terms. And today I'm really excited to be talking to our next guest who brings a really interesting perspective to business and purpose. And today we have Jami Hearn, who's a leading intuitive prosperity coach specializing in working with spiritual women to achieve their divine abundance. She is an expert contributor to Aspire magazine and holds certifications as an Akashic records practitioner and is an evidential medium. Having gone from an unfulfilling career as an attorney to a thriving international coaching practice, Jami's passion is supporting and encouraging women to live their soul's purpose with ease and grace while fulfilling their truest desires. And I'm so excited to talk to you today, Jami. I especially love talking to former attorneys because I know me and you probably have very similar backgrounds. I used to live the corporate grind and probably like you working 24/7 in a really soul-sucking career. And I love talking to attorneys, especially because that is a tough transition. Can you tell people a little bit more about what you used to do and what you are up to now?
Absolutely. And soul sucking is the exact way I describe practicing law.
Yeah. No offense, but yeah, it's gotta be.
Exactly. Hey, if you're happy with it, whatever.
Yeah.
But I wasn't.
Yeah.
So I was completely unfulfilled as an attorney. I was miserable. I'd get up in the morning and I'd be like, oh, how much longer till I get to come back and go to bed? It was just awful. And I wasn't helping anyone. I was dealing with people at their worst. And my clients did win and get money, but someone had to lose in order for me to win. And I didn't want that. Like, that's not what I wanted my children to think successful life was all about. Mm-hmm. So I started down the path of really connecting with my intuition. I have always been a medium. I've always talked to dead people. I actually grew up thinking that every family had another family that lived in the bedroom at the end of the hallway. I didn't know I was unique. So I revisited that part of who I was. And with the help of some pretty cool mentors, I was able to recognize that my true calling was working with spiritually centered and driven women who don't want to be a slave to someone else's time clock or someone else's expectations and live in somebody else's box, but they want to reinvent who they are and who they are in relation to the world. Mm-hmm. So I'm super grateful to have this opportunity to share this information with your awesome audience.
Yeah, no, this is awesome. I love it because, this path is so common and I totally get it. The grind, it does suck your soul. So tell me, I've actually never heard of what an evidential medium is. I mean, I know what a medium is and I love the Akashic records. I actually have a reader that I talk to like every 2 or 3 months myself, who helps me in so many ways. But yeah, tell people, what is this and how do you incorporate this into your coaching practice? Like, how does mediumship and reading the records help you with your clients?
So an evidential medium is really focused on bringing through hard information about your loved one in spirit. So instead of saying, oh, your grandfather, he loves you and he's okay. Like, anybody can say that. Mm-hmm. So when I connect with a spirit on the other side, I ask for a piece of information that's going to validate to me and to the person I'm reading for who I'm talking to. So one that I just did a woman's grandmother came through, and she was showing me a picture of the grandmother holding a cat, and she looked totally miserable about it. So I conveyed that to the girl that I was reading for, and she was like, yeah, my grandmother hated my cat. And she was so mad when I took the picture of her with the cat. She didn't talk to me for like a week. So the fact that that was the piece of information the grandmother brought through, it really affirmed to the girl that I was in fact talking to her grandmother.
Mm. Oh my God. Wow. This is interesting. So then how, it's funny. I've actually never worked with a medium. I'm kind of afraid to, but maybe I should, because I know, I'm in touch with my spirit guides, and I actually bring them into my business, and I'm sure you do too, right? Like, yeah, all these spirits beyond the veil are here to help us. And well, I mean, maybe not all of them, but the ones that are guiding us. But how do you,
right,
when you're working with clients and with the records too, it's amazing. My Akashic record reader will say things. There's one thing in particular she said about me and my business approach for the last 3 years, and I kind of ignored it for about 2.5. And once it started making sense and I started finally applying it, it was like a whole shift in my business. Is this how do you work this into your coaching? Like, how does this work with people?
I do. So often people are doing all of the right strategy, but there's something holding them back. And that piece is really hard to articulate from sitting in the situation. So the Akashic records allow me to take a look at the person's experience as a soul across all lifetimes and see, where's this coming from? One of my favorite examples of that, one of my clients, she is an amazingly gifted healer. She has a business that from the outside looking in looks like it should be completely sound and successful, when in reality she was struggling financially. And she came to me, she's like, I just don't know what to do. I have all the marketing, I have all the stuff, like everything was in place. So we went into her records, and the most important piece that came up in that reading was that she had been a nun in a past life and taken a vow of poverty. So in this lifetime, she's Catholic, and she holds herself out as a good Catholic. So her soul was like, well, you can't be a good Catholic and have money. Those two don't go together. So once we worked through that belief, just the awareness of it shifts a lot of things for people. But after we were able to identify and clear that belief for her, she started making huge amounts of money in her business. And she called me a couple of months after, and she said, hey, bad news. My husband got hurt at work, and he's out of work, and he doesn't have disability and whatever. She said, good news. I was able to pay all of his hospital bills out of pocket without hesitating. Wow. So it was just that shift that completely changed her business.
I love this. And you know what? I actually, I was thinking about, I have a client who, actually this is so common for me, and I'm sure with some of your clients too, who talk about, they want to do business coaching, or they want to help people grow their business, but then they're like, but I'm an intuitive, and I also do healing or energy work, and they think it should be separate. And I'm like, no, combine it all together. Just bring it all in, bring the full you and all your authenticity. And I want people to see how you can actually do this. Like, you can use your work as a medium, your work as an Akashic record reader, help people in any direction. Like, Maya Reader doesn't promote herself as any, business coach or anything, but she's helped me with my business so much, and helped me confirm my purpose, and help me, like you just said, understand my soul and the journey. It's all about then like listening. So I love that you do this, that you bring it in all directions. Now, I know, a huge part of this series is about, tapping into one's purpose. And I'm curious, I know this probably comes up a lot, and I'm just curious, what do you say to people who are kind of struggling to find their purpose, or they're sitting there feeling something in their heart, but they're stuck in, their career as an attorney, right? And they're afraid. Like, what advice can you give to people who are kind of in this push and pull of trying to find their purpose and stuck in fear?
Well, one of my favorite questions is, am I on the right path? And my flippant answer is, if you have to ask, you're not.
That's a good one.
But often if someone is looking for some clarity on exactly what their purpose is and what direction they want to go, I will take them into the records themselves. Instead of me just giving them the information, I want them to experience so they can synthesize the information themselves. Because when it comes through me, I naturally have my own filter that sometimes might not give the one key piece of information they really need. So I take them on a journey so then they can see an overlay of all of the lifetimes they've had, and some of the lifetimes will start to come up and bring with it information about past life purposes that impact their life today. So if they are working as an attorney and when we go into the records, they show me 4 different lifetimes where they were living in an Amazon jungle and they were a shaman, we need to explore that healing element in this lifetime. And sometimes it's completely divergent from what you're doing, but more often than not, we can find some element of what your path should be and integrate that with what you're doing. I just met with a lady who's a health coach and she's getting burnt out. She said, this isn't right. Like I'm not on the right path. So we went through this exercise and she said, they're showing me all these lifetimes where I was a teacher. So we took that information and she started a program where she's teaching health coaches her method. So she's still impacting people the same way, but she's expanding her impact by following the right path.
Oh my God, this is incredible. And I love this because I mean, even if anyone listening is a doubter, it's, you have to open your mind to this because the way I see it, I mean, I'm a believer, so no doubt here, but even if you doubt it, it's just hearing certain insights. They trigger something, they wake something up in you. It's like, you can give it a little bit of thought, like, maybe that is something to consider, like patterns, seeing patterns in your life. And especially when it comes to, what I want to talk about next, divine abundance, this idea of, so many people struggle with, finding abundance, accepting abundance, allowing it in, fear of abundance, fear of, success and failure. And I want to talk about this. So I know you help women, really tap into this and allow in their divine abundance. Can you talk about like what that really means and, how you help people and any advice you could give people? Because I know a lot of people listening struggle with this whole abundance thing, which I get it. I used to, but I don't anymore. And I'm like, I don't get it now. It's so nice.
I find that the beliefs around abundance are so pervasive, but again, people can't really identify exactly what their beliefs are in order to start healing those beliefs. So I enjoy the process of really fleshing out the beliefs and where they came from. So many of them are social or matrilineal. That comes up a lot. Like no woman in their family has ever had a bank account in their own name. So their soul thinks, well, I probably shouldn't either. I'm here to tell you, you totally should and you totally can. So let's do it. But I really love taking my clients through the process of identifying and healing those beliefs. And again, I use the Akashic records as a tool to do that.
Wow. Yeah. No, it's amazing. There's a lot of limiting beliefs people have. Is there especially around abundance and money. And especially with, I work with a lot of healers and coaches and people who are helping people. And like you said, it's like a lot of people on the spiritual path have this notion about like, oh, well, I'm spiritual and I'm helping people, so it's not about the money, which I get, like, it's not about the money, but we need to still allow it in. Is there one trick you can give that really will help people, get past these beliefs or get past the block of allowing in money, especially as a healer, for example, because I know they tend to struggle like the most, it seems like. Oh, hold on. Hold on a second. I think you're muted for some reason. I can't hear you. Uh-oh. Oh, there. Hi. Okay. Oh, wait. Okay. Now I can hear you. Sorry. Somehow it got muted.
Zoom has a total mind of its
I know.
own.
It's craziness. Okay. Back to, yeah.
Yes. One of the most effective rituals or practices that I share with my clients is writing a thank you note to the universe about what abundance has allowed you to do. And it's really important to write it in the position as you've already received it, because the exercise of writing demonstrates to the universe that you're ready, willing, and able to receive that abundance and what you're going to do with it. A lot of us say, oh, I'm appreciative of the abundance that I have, but you're not showing the universe that you're going to be a good steward of that abundance. So when you can demonstrate that, the universe brings more to you.
I love it. I love writing exercises, and especially like you said, like act as if it's already happened. And this for anybody listening that doubts, and hopefully not, because I like to think I'm speaking to people that understand this, but give it a try, because it's amazing how quickly, like I don't know, I'm probably like you, I'm like a power manifester. The stuff is so it's so real and it's so quick and it's just so beautiful when it happens. It's like, oh, okay, like the last time I signed a client like a few weeks ago before I went offline, I was like, you know what, I'm going to sign this client like right before the call, and voila, it happened. And it's just so easy. And it's just like, okay, why not, if we have these amazing tools and we have things like writing and Akashic record readers, like why not tap into this and create this life that we love, that we want?
Exactly.
Now I have one more question, because I know this is about your free gift touches upon this, but I know you can also help people attract in the ideal client. And, I know there's a lot of, healers, coaches, service-based people watching this. And I know, there's a lot of people that are like, well, I'll just take any client. And I actually don't believe in that either. I believe in, really working with the ideal, like we're here to serve who we're meant to serve. So what are some tips for attracting an ideal clients that you have?
It's really important to get clear on what your parameters are around clients. That's the first step. I mean, I think all of us have created a client avatar, and then we change it, and then we change, so our client avatar changes. But it's important to be able to identify who the client is that you're looking for, and be fluid with that. Don't judge yourself for deciding you're changing that, because you are in continual evolution. Mm-hmm. So aligning with the right client is also going to be in continual evolution. That's really the first step. And then the second step for me is to make space for that client. So if that means cleaning your closet out and making some energetic space in your world, do it.
I love that. I actually think my last interview series, I talked to someone else about this. I had a feng shui expert, and I said, I've been purging out all my stuff for the last 3 years in a row. And it actually got to the point, like I literally just gave away a digital camera like last week. I was like, I don't need that, just like everything. And it feels so freeing. It creates so much space. And I've had massive amounts of abundance come in. And the last time I cleared it, I was literally like it was like more than 50% of my belongings, and it felt so good. And I completely agree with you. It's like there's all these little tweaks, and don't worry, it doesn't mean you have to get rid of everything, but even like the little act of letting go and, you know, releasing. And I probably, like you, I ritualized it, you know, I like really made it into this prayer, like, you know, I'm passing this on to other people who can hopefully benefit from these. And
Right.
I'm just creating this energetic space. And then it's like, whoosh, all of a sudden everything came in. I love that. This is great advice. So yeah, talk a little bit more about your free gift it's called 3 Rituals to Call in Your Ideal Clients Now. And tell us, like, what is it and a little bit more.
It's a video series that goes through 3 rituals that I use to create my ideal client relationship. So the first video is just a quick intro, how to use ritual, why ritual is important, and why it's successful. And then the 3 rituals are separate videos. So if you really like one of them, you can just stick with that video and watch it again. But they are practical, hands-on rituals that I use almost every day to create whatever I want to call in, not just clients. Like it works really, really well for clients, but if I'm looking to call in an opportunity or something else that is on my bucket list, I can use those same rituals to do that.
I love it. I love it. And this is, you know, it's funny because in this series, I feature a lot of people who are talking about so much more than just, you know, marketing tactics or how to start a business or how to grow your business. This is because it's all entwined. It's all intertwined. And, you know, I often, as much as I'm, you know, a true business coach, I often say this stuff is actually more important than any marketing strategy you can do. It's really, you know, these rituals, vision work, really quieting the mind and tapping into the heart and really, you know, getting clear on what kind of business you want to create, what kind of purpose you want to tap into, what is the life you want for the next 1 year, 5 years, and lifetime, you know? So I love that you're teaching this because it's so, you know, I know there's always people who are like, oh no, I need like, you know, a marketing strategy or a funnel or something. I'm like, no, you have to master this stuff first, actually. Like this is the most important part. So I'm so glad you're teaching this. This is awesome. And I know you also do retreats, right? And you coach and you do readings. And can you tell people a little bit more about where to find you and how to, other than in today's email and the link, but what's your website? And
my website is liveyourdivinity.com. And you can also find me on Facebook or Instagram.
Awesome. Great. Thank you so much, Jami. This was really so insightful. I love talking to you. I could talk for hours about all the woo-woo stuff. It's my favorite. I know it's my favorite. So anyways, everybody be sure to join us tomorrow. We'll have another interview or 2 on the True Path Entrepreneur. And thanks so much. Bye. Thank you.